Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's make sure that you can hear my voice clearly.
Yes, good morning, sir. Yes, we can. I
Good
can hear
morning
you.
and assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, we have got almost everyone in except Asif, and who else is missing? Okay, we're good to start. We have given enough time. 15 minutes late, we are starting, right? So let me start
Yes,
sharing my screen. And yes, I think I can. You can see the screen, right?
yeah, I can see someone is here in the screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we have a new member, Sujini Prem, who joined us today. I've shared the slides from the previous session, which we had on last Sunday. So I hope she has gone through it. The videos might take some time to be available.
Okay, sir.
I just need to fine tune some of the recordings, and then it will be available, accessible to everyone. It's going to be mostly on the YouTube channel, right? So, with that, let's begin our session. I would uh, I would prefer to recap our session, what we did last time, and just to just check with you guys if you're on the same page and if you still remember whatever we have discussed so far. A quick recap. We started with the cloud history. Actually, we discussed what where the cloud term started, right? And what is cloud computing exactly. And to simplify those concepts again, I've just created some more slides to make sure that you clearly understand what the cloud computing is, right? If you see the diagram here, I hope you can see it,
Yes,
and it clearly explains you what the cloud computing is. It's mainly about delivering the computing resources over the internet, right? That's the fundamental. That's what you need to understand. You might be knowing the traditional way of computing environments and the deployments, wherein organizations might have their own server room or a data center from where they provide the IT services to their organization. So here, if you see the cloud computing for two different uh, audiences. For IT professionals, it is about delivering the compute services over the internet to the end users, right? So that exactly actually gives you the clear understanding of for the IT professionals what the cloud means. They are using the cloud as a term wherein they are providing everything as what they used to provide through the traditional data centers and traditional way of computing. But this is happening all through the internet. So that those are the key points here and the the differences here. So it used to be there. It is there from the long time. Whatever you see on the screen, the big organizations, they will definitely have their own data center. They will have the and data center is nothing but is a combination of all these components. What you see on the screen: servers, storage, databases, network, software. In an essence, this in a nutshell, you can say these are the fundamental building blocks of a data center, right? And these services, when you're providing it over the internet to the end users, it becomes a cloud computing concept. So for end users, cloud computing means using the internet to store, manage, and access data and applications, right? Instead of keeping it on your own machines, this is what we are doing now in our daily lives. It's not just limited to the computers, laptops. We are using We are using smartphones and all the different gadgets to access the cloud services through the apps. So when you're running an app on your machine, on your phone, smartphone, or the tablet, it's nothing but you're consuming a cloud computing resource from the application provider, whoever it is. I hope that makes it crystal clear to all of you, what cloud computing means. And then we discussed about cloud models, deployment models, right? Okay, let me just switch back to another slide which I had created. Okay, let's continue with this. Uh, Different types of cloud deployment models. What exactly that means? As you see here, I've mentioned this uh, the in the heading itself. It really means where your data center is residing, where is your compute resources residing, where it is deployed. So when you say private cloud, it's a dedicated cloud environment used particularly and specifically by a private organization, and they are providing that their compute services only to their organization users. So that is a private cloud. And we have seen what the public cloud is. And public cloud, sorry, there's a someone from my daughter. Okay, go ahead. So public cloud, you know what public cloud is? We have already discussed it. It's mostly you can remember it by a multi-tenant environment, right? What does it mean? That means the public cloud is open to everyone. So you, me, and anyone else, anyone can take the or subscribe for the public cloud, and you and me becomes a tenant of the cloud. That means the infrastructure of the cloud is shared among all the tenants, and definitely making sure that your information is private and secure. Each tenant's privacy is maintained by the cloud provider. And we have seen what is hybrid cloud, combination of private and public cloud, and why organizations adopt this cloud model. Can anyone give me an example why an organization might go for the hybrid cloud model?
In
Anyone?
banking, they are using hybrid to secure the data.
Oh, sorry. What was that? Okay, a bit louder, please. I didn't hear that.
In banking, they will use a hybrid to secure the data.
In banking, okay. No, my question is,
Yes, sir.
why would a organization choose to go with the hybrid cloud? What are the scenarios
Yeah,
wherein
they
they would
want
require?
both their data to be secure, and also sometimes they want to share the public use organization can deliver to the public also.
Right.
Both
That's one of the
they
reasons.
want to the all the data they cannot share with the public cloud, so
Mhm.
they want some private that will go for a hybrid. So they are using the hybrid.
Okay. Anyone else? Does anyone have any description of or the requirement of going for a hybrid cloud?
Yeah, one more example is like the total dependency. So we cannot trust a single provider.
Mhm.
Then maybe for the scalability, availability, and feasibility, we choose different vendors. Then and we have our own
We are
data
talking
center.
about Ahmed. We are talking about the hybrid cloud, not the multi cloud. I think you're
Okay.
mixing
Yeah.
up the multi cloud concept here. So
Okay.
here we are talking about purely hybrid cloud, wherein there's only one service cloud provider involved, not multiple
Mhm.
cloud providers. So let me give
Okay.
a very simple explanation for this. See, organizations have already have their own data centers, wherein they have invested thousands of dollars to build it. Okay, now with the cloud concept coming in, with the business requirement coming in that you have to provide your IT services or extend your IT services to the broader users throughout the globe. So your traditional data center might not be able to fulfill that requirement, and this is one of the business reason why you would. And secondly, you might not be comfortable with going 100% cloud. That means the public cloud. Since you already have your big investment done on the data center, wherein you're running your servers, your storage, and everything, and this might be still good for a couple of more years going forward. So businesses would like to utilize and use that, exhaust that resource what they have on-prem, and plus they need to expand. They need to approach or provide the service to many users or to the internet users with the high availability, flexibility, and easyability of accessing the services. In that scenario, the hybrid cloud model is the best option. Okay, wherein you are still having your own data center and you're integrating your services with one of the public cloud provider, and you still have control on your data, what you're sharing or publishing through the public cloud. You have your investment secured. Whatever you have invested in your local data center, you're still making use of it until it becomes obsolete or end of life. When hardware is end of life, then you might decide, the company might decide, now we have a reliable cloud services running, so why to run the same thing on our premises in our data center? So why not demolish that? Why not just get rid of it? So there are scenarios. So it is really the business who decides whether we go for the cloud and what cloud model we go for. So this is one of the example why many organizations they start adopting the cloud computing through a hybrid cloud model. This is where they begin. Not everyone can go 100% cloud overnight. And yes, definitely, if it is a new organization who are starting the business, who are startups, they can completely start their business with the public cloud model. It's not necessary that they should build their own data center first and then go for a hybrid cloud and then go for ultimately go for the public cloud, right? I hope that is clear and that makes sense. The explanation what I've done. Any doubt on that? So hybrid cloud, we have seen hybrid cloud. Why would we go for hybrid cloud? And this is the most common cloud deployments we can see through enterprises. Then we have Sovereign Cloud, which is dedicated and designed for a particular nation and the government. So that cloud is not open to anyone in the internet. It will be only for a specific country or a specific government entity. Then we have a multi-cloud. When you combine two different cloud provider services from the public cloud, like AWS and Google, or AWS and Azure, or all three. We have one. I had one of the good use case from Noon. You guys who are in here in Dubai, they know what Noon is. Noon provides e-commerce services. They sell products online. They deliver food, and they have many different businesses. So Noon is utilizing Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, as well as AWS Cloud. So they're taking services and application. They're running specific application and services on each cloud. So and at the end, they're integrating all this through one particular application. So the Noon application, Noon app, what you run in India, it might be Zomato equivalent to Noon. So that application, when you're opening up, it's communicating with different cloud providers for different services. So that's where you go for hybrid cloud. Is that clear, everyone? So this is where we stopped, I guess, last time, cloud deployment models. And can anyone tell me what is on-prem data center?
We are constructing our own data centers,
Yeah,
own platform.
right.
The
What does
private
it?
one is
Sorry?
also the private cloud is also known as like on-prem.
Not really. The traditional data center and the data center on-prem. The meaning on-prem is on premises. On premises, on whose premises? It is the organization's premises. Like if I have a company, I have a huge building, and I have space wherein I can run my own data center, because data center is a huge investment. You know that. It's you need a you need a dedicated facility. You need servers, storage, and all the equipments to run a data center. And not just the IT equipments. You also need a physical security. You need proper environment control in the data center. So it's a huge investment, and it's a big thing. So when organizations build their own data center on their or in their own offices in their building, this refers to as on-prem data center, on premises, and it is a very common term used when you're discussing anything cloud computing, any cloud concepts, because usually the data centers which are owned and are maintained by the organizations, we refer it to as on-prem data center. I hope that is clear. What is co-location? Co-location service. We also discussed about the co-location service. It's nothing but again going back to the same scenario. Like for example, I'm running an organization. I have my own data center. Now the expenses are going out of control. The electricity bills are going high. So I decide that, okay, why do I need to run data center in my own building and spend so much of money making sure it is secure, making sure it is highly available, making sure that it is the environment is properly maintained and controlled. Why not look for a service provider who can give me this space to run this compute and whatever requirements you are running for the IT for your IT in IT uh, specifically for your organization. So this is where data center service providers come in. Not necessarily that it has to be a cloud service provider. There are data centers and people provide the services, co-location services through their data centers as well. So what you can do as an organization, you can rent the space in their data center. So you don't have to worry about the physical security of your data center. You don't have to worry about the environment controls, and you don't have to worry about the internet connectivity to your data center. This is all you can all rent this. And definitely the more services you take from the data center, the more you pay. But comparatively, running your own data center on-prem, okay, running in someone else facility is different, right? The cost will be definitely lesser when you're running your data center uh, in the data center service provider facility. So it's about facility management, and it's about reducing the cost. So that's where people go for uh, co-location services. They own their own, they still have the responsibility of maintaining their own servers, their own network equipment, everything. Whatever you run in your own in the cabinets, you are responsible for it, for maintaining and managing it. I hope that is clear. So let's move on to the next slide, where we talk about the cloud benefits. Now, why would we go for cloud computing? What are the driving factors for the cloud computing? And you can see the high level here, high availability, elasticity, scalability, reliability, and all of this are the benefits of going for cloud computing and the cloud providers to adopting the cloud services from the cloud service providers. So now, do you know what each of this means? What does it mean by high availability? How can you achieve? Okay, let me give you an example. I'll share the screen from my another machine. Yes. we will try to use the whiteboards to explain the concepts. So it makes more sense instead of just reading through the bullet points and the descriptions. It really makes sense when you understand it, what what it is, the concept wise. Okay, I'm going to share the screen from my another computer, and I'm looking for a whiteboard. Okay. Okay, so are you able to see the whiteboard what I'm sharing?
No, still
Yes.
not.
You can see the whiteboard,
Yes, now we are able to see.
right? All right.
Everybody can
So,
write.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, HA. Let's talk about HA. High availability, right? What does it mean? Anyone? Anything in a single line or a word?
Yeah, high availability is like in case of a disaster, in case of emergency, if your primary site fails, then we can run the services from the secondary site.
Okay.
Or we have any option available wherein we can run the services. For that, we need to have the high availability
That's
available.
the site level availability. You can also have the system level availability, right?
Yeah.
So high availability is basically making sure that your applications are accessible in case of device failure or a server failure. When you talk about application wise, so in a non-cloud environment, what would you do to make sure that your server is available? Your manager comes to you, your business owner comes to you saying that I need my website to be highly available, right? So in that case, what do you have to do? Let's say you're running a single web server, you're running a single database server, and you're hosting the services. So you're providing your own services to the through the internet. Yes, Sujini has some question, it
Sir,
seems.
I can't see the whiteboard, sir.
You can't see it. What about others?
Same
Yes,
Suddenly,
here.
we.
maybe you
Me
can
too.
rejoin. You just disconnect and reconnect the meeting.
Uh, did I want to disconnect again? I want to join back.
Yeah, disconnect and
So you have to
join because
rejoin.
others are we are able to see it except you. So you can just disconnect and
Can you
yes,
hear me,
Mansur.
guys? And can you see the screen now?
Yeah, we are able to see and we are
Okay,
able
I'm
to
just
hear you as
explaining
well.
you the high availability concept here with a simple scenario wherein you have your web server and database server hosted on your premises and the user.
No, this is not the problem, I think.
Okay,
Now
and
I can see this.
but it
I
might
can
be
see the
the
whiteboard.
account. Sorry,
Now I can see the whiteboard.
really? So it is not
Yes.
a guest account issue at all. At all.
No.
Okay, fine. So we have been misguided by someone. That's fine. So I'll just put the message in chat to Sujini that you can join still.
Okay.
We're missing Sujini. I'll just text her on the WhatsApp and then we'll begin.
Okay.
Okay, she's going to join. We'll continue. I'm going to share the screen again from another computer and I'm sharing whiteboard. Is that visible now to everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even to Junaid?
Yes.
Okay. So that's good for now. Let's continue. So I was explaining the concept of HA. It's about making a high availability. It's about making sure that your services are highly available in case of any device or component failure. That's what the concept of HA is. And practically, let's say if you have your own data center wherein you're running your servers. Okay, this is a web server, for example, and this is your database server. And technically, this is what you would require to run and host a website, correct? So you'll have connectivity here, you'll have a connectivity to the internet. This is the internet cloud. And if you remember, I told you from the network diagrams, from this cloud component diagram as an internet, this is where the cloud term came in, cloud computing. So if I'm a user here, okay, and I'm accessing your website, abc.com, right? So this website is right now available and accessible over the internet. But at the back end, this is where your data center is. This is your data center. You are running a single website through a single web server, and a backend with a single database server. So there's no high availability here, and there is an internet connection which is also a single internet line. So this there is a high chance and probability that this at any given time of point, either the database can fail, the server can fail, or a component in within the server which will impact the DB services, or the web server might fail at any given time point, or the internet might line might go out. You know, there is a high probability of failure here. There's a single, it's called single point of failure in the IT terminology. And I'm sure everyone is aware of that because this is the basic, very basics and fundamentals. Okay, so now how does the HA solve this issue? What do we do in HA? So what we do is we try to make sure that there's no single point of failure. Okay, so what I would do uh, practically, that I will have two web server 1 and 2. This is 1, this is 2, and I build them as highly available through whatever means, whatever technology you use. There are many technologies we'll be discussing on the cloud which are out of the box available for you to build HA cluster and very easily. But if you are talking about doing this in your on-prem data center, what are the challenges you will come across? The first challenge is that buying the new servers. So you have a web server 1 already. Happened why this came up. So, okay, I'll leave that. I'm new to this whiteboard snippets. I think this is, how do I get rid of this?
delete.
No, I don't
Set
see
right
delete.
click and delete. Right click and delete.
No, there's no right click. Calculator. 1 second.
You need to remove the cursor.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got it. I'll just move it for now, so we don't waste the time.
Need
Okay,
to take the
so building a HA in on-prem data center is not very easy and straightforward because it require it first. The very first thing is that it needs the money, right? So to build any system or any application highly available, you require to invest money, and that doesn't happen overnight. So if it is an on-prem data center, it's really slow and difficult to build this environment. What I'm just drawing you on the whiteboard. that you're adding up one more web server, one more database server, and instead of one internet line, you're adding multiple internet lines to make your site, your service highly available. This is called high availability. So you're finding out the single point of failures in your whole application end-to-end infrastructure, IT infrastructure, just to make sure that your site is highly available and accessible. So if any, in this scenario, the challenges are if it is an on-prem server, the first challenge is the cost. The second challenge is buying this equipment, because buying a server is not like just buying a simple PC from a store nearby, right? It's not that straightforward. There is a process involved in this, and these components are not really available in the grocery stores or in the supermarkets. Understand the challenges and the issues. Okay, that's those are the challenges of building the HA. Now, after building the HA, the first challenge was the cost. The second is the time it takes to build that HA. And then once you have this highly available, you have a recurring cost as well. Your internet lines, there are two lines you're running for making sure that this service is available. So is that clear how, where is HA required and where, how to build that HA, or what efforts it takes to build that HA high available environment for your IT infrastructure, for your website or the web server which you're running? It's a very simple and basic example I've given. So this is the challenge, right? Now in the cloud, it's really it made it very easy to build any HA environment. Why? Because you're not buying any physical hardware in the cloud, isn't it? You're just renting the space, or sorry, you're renting the compute power. You're creating the servers on demand with just a click of the button. Understand, that's the advantage of going with the cloud. And definitely, of course, there are side effects and there are disadvantages as well. But let's talk about the cloud benefits. Why cloud computing is in demand now and is still progressing. Clear? That is that clear? So that is HA, the high availability, making sure that your application is running smooth, even though if there is any component or the server failure in the whole IT infrastructure, your application is highly available. The next concept was the next benefit, which was mentioned in the slide. I'll come to that. Elasticity. What does it mean by elasticity? Anyone? In the cloud computing, elasticity in general, what does the elasticity means? Stretching, right? Stretching or expanding something. Now, how does this fit in the cloud computing? This is one of the benefit of cloud computing.
When n number of users are entering, it will allocate the resources
Yes.
to the user.
Yeah. So what the elasticity benefit in the cloud, what you get is the let me explain you here. Now remember these benefits when you're attempting to write an exam. These are the terms which they will definitely question you about. Elasticity. Okay, so this is making sure that your resources are automatically adjusted based on the demand. What does it mean? In reality, let's say you're running a e-commerce website. For us and throughout the world, people know Amazon.com very well. This is an e-commerce website. Let's say one day Amazon announces that there is an offer, right? They keep coming up with some weird offers, right? White Friday, Black Friday, 90% sale, or so on. So what happens? As you and me, we flock into the website and we try to grab that offer. And it's not just you or me. There might be thousands of users or even millions of users worldwide trying to grab that offer. And that will definitely put a load on your servers, isn't it? So no matter what number of servers you're running, let's say I'm running web server 1, I'm a web server 2. I have two web servers and two database servers in the backend. Now, suddenly, with this offer, which I have announced as an Amazon company, I see the number of users has spiked up. What does it mean? Let's say I have provisioned these servers which can handle only 1,000 users, 1,000 plus users. And with this offer, you're having extra digits in the users. You're having 10,000 users or 100,000 users trying to access this service. What will happen? Your web server will be unavailable because the servers which you have sized and you have built is out of the resources. Your CPU is 100%, your memory is RAM is 100%, and that's it. That's the end of the story of your cell, right? Instead of earning more, you'll end up losing more in this scenario. So in the cloud, the concept of elasticity is based on the demand, you can scale up, your resources will be scaled up. That means the moment you can set the criteria, okay, let's say with with the sale in site coming after a week, you can set the rules in the cloud computing that okay, once the capacity reaches, let's say 2000, add up a new server, spin up a new server, okay, web server 3 with identical configuration and whatever it takes for making that website available and accessible. So this either you have to do it manually. If it is your on-prem environment, elasticity is again something only mystical. It's not something which you can easily achieve. You can't buy the server overnight. You can't build the server overnight. You can't bring it to the production overnight. This all takes time. Whereas when you're in the cloud, it's just a matter of few clicks again. Or you can even what do you do? You can automate this process. So that's another advantage of cloud computing. So we have seen high availability. Now we have seen elasticity. There's the next concept of the next benefit of cloud computing from our slides. I'm just explaining everything on the board first, then we'll go back to the slides wherein
I
it
have one
really.
question here, can I?
Yes, go ahead.
So in elasticity, so increasing the resource and adding the server.
Hmm.
So we have two scenario. So
Yeah.
which one is best and which one is good?
That really depends on your environment, right? Let's say you have a server which can support until 16 CPUs max, the hardware which you're having, and it supports until 32 GB or 64 GB of RAM. So you can only uh, upscale or increase your capacity to that max level, isn't it?
Hmm.
Whereas in the cloud environment, you can it can build a new server itself with the same capacity what you're running right now. So it is scalable. You're stretching the resources. You can add up. You have many ways of doing it. You can either add up the memory or the CPU, or you can add up a new machine with minimal efforts and the time which you spend on this. Is that clear?
Okay. So which one is feasible and good actually? Adding a new server or adding resources in existing one?
That's what I'm saying. This really depends on your budget requirement, budget again, because adding up the resources uh, will also add the cost to your cloud environment as well. Okay, the comparison whether we should increase the RAM or CPU or add a new virtual machine. This depends on your
Mhm.
application architecture. If your application is designed to, accommodate more additional servers, it is always good to have more servers. And every server has a limited capacity again. So the virtual machines, what you see on the cloud, you have certain limits on that. Let's say you have built a very high-end virtual machine which supports the maximum 64 CPUs, for example. You can see the screen, right? And it
Yes.
supports maximum 64 GB of RAM. Just an example. So there's no more room to add up the resources in this, right?
Hmm.
So what do you
Okay.
do? You provision a new virtual machine.
Okay.
So that's the benefit of having the cloud. So you can either increase the resources on the same servers, or you can add up a new server altogether with a similar capacity.
Hmm.
Is that
Okay.
clear?
Yes.
Okay,
Good. Thank you.
right. Now the next advantage or benefit of cloud computing is called scalability. Scalability. Okay, that is C. Now, what does this mean? What is the difference between the elasticity and scalability? Okay, scalability allows easy expansion or reduction. There are two things in here now. In elasticity, you're stretching your resources up, right? You're just stretching your resources. You are either adding up the more RAM or more CPUs, or you're adding up the more virtual machines. But what does the scalability means? You can add or remove. You can expand or reduce your resources on the servers, and this is all happening automatically based on your configuration. So what you can do is, for example, the same scenario again, when you have the web server, two web servers running, web server one, web server, and the whole infrastructure. And again, the same example of having the Amazon as an example, and the offer sale, Amazon annual sale or Black Friday sale or White Friday sale, or whatever it is. So scalability. Now that offer which you're giving online, 90% offer, is valid until 1 week, right? Just 1 week. In this week, you're expecting the user base user hits to a million user or 100,000 users or a million users. Now, just to cope up with that capacity requirement, you're adding up the resources. Either you're adding up the more RAM and CPU, or you're adding up the more servers, right? Either one of these two. Now, what after 1 week? Your regular user access requirement is just 10,000. Now, if it is a traditional data center environment, you have already invested in this additional capacity, and now you have to just live with it. You can't sell the extra server which you have bought, or you cannot even sell the extra memory or CPUs which you have bought for your existing servers, right? So here comes again another benefit of the cloud, where scalability is superb. So based on your requirement, it is scalable. It can scale up or scale down. Understand? So you can either scale up the resources, or you can scale down the resources based on the demand. So the moment number of users reduce over the time, the load reduces over the time, it will automatically decommission the servers. You'll be back to the normal scenario where you were before the sales. Is that clear? Any doubt on this? There are two concepts in scaling: scale up, scale out. What does it mean? These are the terminologies which you should remember. Scaling up is adding up the resources, RAM, CPU, or storage. Scaling out, when you say scale out, it's about adding the new virtual machine altogether, or the server. Understand? So these are two different terminologies which are used in scalability.
Can you repeat again scale up and scale
Yeah,
out for instance?
yeah. Scalability has two different terminologies in the cloud. When you say scale up, what are you doing? You're basically adding up the resources to your existing servers. Let's say I have two servers. I have a web server one, web server two, with two CPUs and 16 GB RAM, for example. Now, when you add up more resources, let's say from two, I want to make the CPUs to four. I'm adding up two more CPUs and I'm doubling the RAM capacity. So this is basically scale up. So existing servers, you're scaling up. Is that clear?
Yes.
Scale up. Now scale out. What happens in the scale out? In the scale out, you're not adding up the resources to the existing servers. This is my web server one, web server two. What I'm doing is I'm just spinning up a new web server three. This is called scale out. Clear now?
Okay, so scale up is adding up on our resources on an existing server, whereas scale out is increasing the amount of servers we have. Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. That's what it is. So you're not, what you're doing is you're maintaining the same configuration. You're just adding up one more server with the same configuration, two more CPUs and 16 GB RAM.
Understood.
Clear? Yeah. So these are
Understood.
two
Yes.
different ways of scaling your resources in the cloud.
So, one question here.
Yes,
We come across like handling like auto scaling and all. Okay, this is by default feature available, or we can make it static also. It's
no, I
auto
didn't,
scaling.
sorry, I didn't get your question, Ahmed.
Auto scaling
Auto
means
scaling. Yeah,
based
this
on
is
the
auto.
requirement,
Yeah.
it will increase and decrease.
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
okay.
So what is the question?
The question is, we have only auto scaling, or we can have this some like we have control over like scaling
Yeah,
and
you
scale
can
up, scale down
see the scalability is the benefit of the
requirements.
cloud. Yeah.
Hmm.
Either you do it manually or you do it
Okay.
automatically. It's totally up to you.
Okay.
You can
Understood.
manually add up the resources to your servers, or
Hmm.
you can manually add the additional server, or you can automate this whole process. In the
Yes, we
dynamic
have the option for
environments.
automation, then it is
Yes,
better, right? So
yeah,
automatically it will
definitely. I
scale up
mean,
and scale down
that's definitely better because you don't need, there's no human
to
intervention
check.
required, right?
Ah.
In the dynamic applications, in the scenario which I have given you, Amazon
Hmm.
says you don't have to put up your resources, your admin IT resources to sit and do the scale up or scale down. You
Yes.
simply automate it in the system.
Yes. Exactly.
Clear?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Maksud bhai, I have one question. Can you explain
Yes.
what is horizontal scaling and vertical scaling?
This is what it is. When you say scale up or scale out, this really refers to the horizontal or vertical scaling. So what you tell me, what is the vertical scaling in the scale up or scale out? That's a
I'm
question to
just
you.
trying to understand, yeah, what you do. Explain it.
Now,
Just
what is
trying to.
what is the vertical and what is horizontal? You know that, right?
Hmm.
What is vertical?
When we are
Tell
Uh,
me,
increasing,
tell
when we are
me, tell
increasing,
me.
existing
Is this no
server
no is this vertical line or horizontal line?
vertical.
Vertical.
Is this horizontal?
Yes, horizontal.
Horizontal. Okay. So this is scale up. What you're doing? You're adding up the resources on the existing virtual machine. You have a VM. You're scaling it up. So this is the scaling mechanism. What you're following, the
Hmm.
terminology, right? Vertical or horizontal. When you're expanding, it is what? It's a horizontal length expansion. Got my point?
Yeah, so
Both
it
look
means
same.
three terminology: scale up, scale down, scale out.
I
Three
No, no,
are
think
no,
it's
no,
different.
only naming
no.
convention,
There are
nothing.
two.
Huh?
There are two.
Only
Scale
two
up or
only. Okay.
scale up
Scale
or
out.
scale down is not considered as a terminology here.
Okay.
In,
Okay.
in in the terminology, you have scale up, you have scale out.
Okay. Okay.
Is that clear?
Got it.
Vertical and horizontal. That's
Okay.
that's really what Asif is referring to.
But vertical, horizontal, I didn't understand like why this
Hmm.
name is not matching at all.
Why?
Vertical means what? Upscaling. Horizontal means
Upscaling, yes.
horizontal means what? Like
Scaling out.
what
You're
it mean
adding
exactly?
up more virtual machines in the queue,
Vertical.
in the line.
Horizontal? Horizontal?
You're confusing it up. No, you have to first decide what is vertical and what is horizontal here.
Okay, horizontal. What is this horizontal?
Tell me what is horizontal.
Scaling up.
Huh?
Scaling
Scaling
up.
up? Sure.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
No, I'm just asking you in the in the English terminology, what is
Okay.
scale up, horizontal or vertical? We have
Straight
students
line,
here. You
straight
can
line,
ask Junaid or
horizontal.
Etisham. Junaid, what is
Straight line,
huh?
straight line, vertical. Okay.
Okay.
The below line is horizontal. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So how it relates to the
I'll
up and down?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let me draw the lines here.
Excuse me.
This is a vertical line. Okay.
Excuse me,
This is horizontal line.
Mr. Masood.
Yes. Yes.
Like I have a question. I have a doubt in scale out. I didn't get it.
Okay. I'm coming to that. So let's understand what is vertical and horizontal first. I hope this one is clear, right? So in the cloud terminology, when you are scaling up, this is your virtual machine. What
Mhm.
you're doing is you're adding up resources.
Okay.
This is vertical scaling. Okay.
Hmm.
Scale up. What you're doing, you're adding RAM, you're adding CPU, you're adding storage or whatever it is. You're adding up one more network interface card. This all counts as a scale up.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Adding server also.
Adding server is not a scale up. I'm talking about a single
Okay.
server.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm talking about single server. When you're
Okay.
adding resource to a single server, it is called scale up. Is that clear now?
Okay.
Now I have two servers already. Okay, and I'm adding up a new server. So this concept is called as scale out.
Is it possible for us to see this kind of in the Azure region, how it will look? So kind of, I
Well,
think it'll help
we will
help
have the labs on
understand.
this. We'll have the labs.
Okay, then fine,
Yeah,
all right. That's all right.
yeah. Here I'm just trying to explain the concept so that when you're practicing the lab, you should not be wondering what this thing is, right?
Oh, that works.
Now, Junaid, is that clear? What I've explained?
So in scale out,
Okay.
you are increasing the servers,
Exactly,
VMs.
exactly.
Okay, clear.
In
So you should
scale out,
remember.
why you're not decreasing the
In scale up,
resources?
Sorry,
increasing
Ah.
resources.
sorry. One at a time.
I'm talking. Okay.
Yes,
Increasing resources is called scale up, and
yes.
increasing servers is called scale out.
Scale out. Remember these terms. These are very important in the exams. This is vertical scaling. This is horizontal scaling. It's quite simple, very simple English. I hope I'm explaining it the way it is done in English, plain English. Is that clear now? Can we move
Yes,
on?
yes.
Continue. Continue.
Okay. The next benefit of the cloud is reliability. Reliability delivers consistent performance and uptime through redundancy. So when you're talking about reliability, it again goes back to your level of HA. Uh, the again it counts on HA scalability and elasticity. This all adds up to something called reliability, isn't it? This is making your systems reliable. Clear? That's another benefit of the cloud computing. You have redundancy throughout different options, throughout the VMs, through the internet lines, connectivity, and everything, and performance-wise as well. So when you're out of resources, you're scaling up or scaling out depending on your requirement, your how your application functions. That's called reliability. It depends on high availability, scalability, and elasticity features. Clear?
Maksud bhai, confused here. One thing I'll tell.
Yeah.
You are telling about scale up. What about
Yeah.
scale down?
Scale down. I mean, there's no term for that in here.
Okay. Okay.
I'm referring this terminology mainly for the purpose of examination. And for the understanding, yes, I have already explained you that the scalability means scale up or scale down or scale out. It's all of that,
Okay.
isn't it? When you talk about scalability, you can add up the resources, you can remove the resources as well. And this all of this you can do automatically. So you can also
But
do,
again, I will tell you that scale out, you are increasing the server, increasing only. Okay. And
yes,
scale up also, you are increasing the resources. Where you are
yes. Uh-huh.
downgrading,
Yeah,
where
you
you are
can do.
downgrading.
See, here you can downgrade. When you're saying minus, reduce the RAM,
Ah,
reduce the
what we
CPU,
call that.
scale down.
Okay.
In
Yes.
here as well, you added
Hmm.
one more virtual machine, so you're removing
Scale
another
out,
virtual.
scale in.
Yeah, scale in or scale down. Scale in also, I think scale in, it is called scale in.
Okay. Okay.
Scale in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood now.
Scale up, scale down, scale out, scale in. You can, I'm not sure
Hmm.
if this term is used, but yes,
I am
for
also
your
not don't know
understanding,
like whether with the terminologies or not. I
yeah,
am
yeah,
also
that's what
not
that's
sure.
what
Okay.
these are the two terms which are very common in the cloud computing: scaling up the resources, scaling out the resources, and thanks to Asif, he has mentioned, yes, it is called vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. I hope
I
this
have
is
I have one
yes,
doubt. High availability and scalability, elasticity depends on reliability.
not depends on in
Like what?
combination, it is called as reliability.
In combination.
Yeah.
The
So when
combination
you
of three is called reliability.
yes, exactly. What do you
Okay.
mean by reliability? You know the English, right? Reliable means it's available, it's accessible, the performance is good, everything is fine as per your expectation. That's the reliability. You can rely on something, isn't it?
Okay. Okay.
So that's just the terminology. That's just the benefit. It doesn't actually fit in any specific area. So when you say reliable, includes everything, HA, scalability, elasticity, right? And there is another benefit called predictability. What does it mean? Predictability. That's another benefit of cloud computing. Can anyone help me in this? What does it mean? Okay, so predictability mainly relates to the cost of your cloud computing, right? When you're going with the cloud computing concept, you know how much you're paying for each virtual machine, and there are different uh, payment methods you have from cloud providers. Either you pay as go, that means you pay only what you use. You got my point. You have a specific requirement wherein you need to spin up one virtual machine, one particular server you need, and you need to run it for a specific period of time. For example, let's say you're doing a test project and you need the virtual machine for 2 days. Now, for that particular requirement, you won't go and buy a specific hardware and the server and bring it home and build the whole testing environment, and which you will not be using again for maybe forever. So the cost and the predictability is very easy in a cloud computing model, wherein you can buy a server with a specific configuration and the specification, and you can use it for your requirement. So the cloud providers give you the calculator basically. So if you're buying a virtual machine with two CPUs or 16 GB of RAM, how much it will cost you per minute, per second, or per hour? They give you the complete breakdown of your expenses, so you can easily predict how much you're going to spend on that cloud virtual machine. So that is the benefit of another benefit of cloud computing, predictability. Clear? We can predict the cost here, how much it is going to cost you. If you're running two VMs, how much it is going to cost you. If you're running three VMs and for a specific period of time, how much it's going to cost you, which is very difficult in terms of having your own data center and having buying hardware for a specific requirement. This is one of the reason why cloud has succeeded from the beginning. Where when Amazon came up with the offer with this offering, cloud offering, this was mainly utilized by the developers who needed a server, who needed a particular resource, compute resource for a specific period of time for testing their project. So that's the beginning of cloud computing. So you can easily predict how much you need to spend and for how long. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So let's move on. Then you also have security in the cloud, wherein where all the cloud service providers who are giving you the cloud services, they spend heavily on the security, making sure that your data is safe and secure in the cloud. Because cloud computing, as you know, when you talk about public cloud, it's a multi-tenant environment. That means you have your own virtual machine running on the cloud. I have my own virtual machine and I have my own data. You have your own data, and there is a different level of privacy you need for each of your environment. So it's the responsibility of the cloud provider to make sure that this information is safe and secure, right? And it is not compromised by other tenants on the cloud. Okay, and you have governance as well. What do you mean by governance? You can enforce the policies, your compliance. If you are having a compliance requirement, for example, you have a compliance. One of the a very easy example is that your organization needs to maintain your data or retain your data for 5 years, for example. Just an example. That's a retention requirement, and it's a compliance requirement. So when a third party comes in for audit of your company, your organization, they will come and ask you, the IT guys, show me if you have maintained the retention, if you have maintained the data for last 5 years. So they will simply ask you, I need to see this data from so and so year and so date and so and so time. So retention, you can again apply the governance policies required for your organization. This was one of the examples. There are many examples you will come across when you are going through. So I don't want to make this theory too lengthy. So in order to bore you, because most of us know what we are talking about. Most of you guys are in IT already. Then we have another benefit, which is manageability. What does it mean? It's basically simplifies monitoring. Okay, monitoring, automation, maintenance of your cloud resources. So you can do all of that through the cloud portal, which you get from your cloud service provider, right? So
You
those are the
say manage and self-manage.
benefits of the cloud computing mainly.
It's manageability. You're talking about manage and
Are we
self-manage.
good here? Any questions? Or we can carry on. I'll share the screen again from the other machine and run through the slides. Okay, this is what we have touched. Let me know if you're able to see the screen, the presentation which I'm sharing here.
Excuse me.
Is it visible?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Subhi, can you hear me?
Someone has any question from your side? I can hear you guys. Is anyone speaking?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Khaja.
Khaja bhai. I think Khaja bhai has question.
Yeah, that manageability you told Masood bhai. You mean to say like, manage and self-manage?
Manage and
Self-manage?
self-manage.
This
Are you
is the
talking about the
term
self-manage?
manageability?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. See, when we are now right now just at the we are discussing cloud models and the benefits. We have cloud service types, okay, the service models. When you come to that, you will know who is responsible for managing what, who is responsible for monitoring what. You will know that in a while.
I got it.
Right? Clear? Is everyone able to hear me clearly? My voice is okay?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's okay.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's carry on. I'm uh, I'm sure you can see the screen, the presentation again. And after this, we have something called cloud service models. So what have we discussed just before this was uh, cloud deployment models and the cloud benefits. Now we are coming to the service model. What kind of services, what type of services cloud is offering? This is a very generic. Every cloud provider gives you one, three of these services by default. So then only they will be called as cloud providers. Otherwise, they're not the cloud providers. So, they give you software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. So we'll understand each of this, not just by reading the bullet points, but I'll explain you again on the whiteboard what exactly it means. So let's go through the terms here. Software as a service. That means the software is provided by the cloud provider. Okay, for example, I have put an example here, Microsoft 365 or Gmail. But Gmail, you won't call it as a cloud service, SaaS service, because this is the personal email service. But again, Google has their own cloud software as a service services as well. Google Workspace, which is equivalent to Microsoft 365, wherein they give you more application access and so on. So Microsoft 365 is one of the example of software as a service. What does it mean? Is anyone using Microsoft 365 in our group and in this? I'm sure most of us are using it,
I worked with
right?
Microsoft 365 and I'm using it, yes.
Yes, Microsoft 365. You have many services in that. You have an email. You have email service is a combination of multiple services. Email services. You have SharePoint services. You have Teams. You have so any application which Microsoft has developed until now. They are providing everything in the form of software as a service as well. So you can only subscribe for a specific service. You can take the license only for email services, or you can take the license for SharePoint or a specific service from Microsoft. So that is a software as a service. We'll understand everything in detail going forward. Here I'm giving just the high level. Platform as a service. This is mainly and particularly for the developers. Okay, who needs to build and test the applications? They mostly go for platform as a service. What does it mean? The cloud service provider gives them the platform wherein they can build the code, test the code, and access the code, right? That's called platform as a service. It's not meant for end users. Infrastructure as a service. This is a very common type of cloud service model, which all the service providers give you, wherein uh, you can build your own virtual machines, you can build your own network, your storage, and the whole IT infrastructure. You can replicate your complete IT infrastructure and infrastructure as a service model. That means you can build right from scratch the whole new data center in the cloud. Understand? So this is where I was giving an example of a new company, a startup who needs a very minimum resource to run their organization. Let's say they just need two or three servers. They need one database server, storage server, and they need this to be up and running in a very quick manner. So cloud computing infrastructure service is the best option for them. They can buy this service. They can build their own IT infrastructure and start using it. Right. So that is a very high level. I'm going in detail now. So now, what exactly infrastructure as a service is? So in infrastructure as a service, and again, we'll talk about the responsibilities. When you take a specific service model, who is responsible for what? For example, your cloud service provider has some certain responsibilities, and you as a user also has certain responsibilities to manage and maintain your infrastructure. So infrastructure as a service is it's one of the famous cloud service model wherein you can build your server storage, networking, firewall security, data center, everything. I mean, not physical, but it's going to be virtual. Build pay as you go IT infrastructure by renting servers, virtual machines, storage, networks, and operating system from a cloud provider. This is in essence the infrastructure as a service. I'll give you examples from the whiteboard, explain you more. I just need you to grab this, terminologies and the responsibility part. So when you're talking about infrastructure as a service, cloud provider is giving you the option to build your own servers. So who will be responsible for making sure that these servers are running properly, right? You have proper security measures taken on these servers. You build a server for your Active Directory domain controller. You build a server for your web server. You build a virtual machine for your database. Now, all of that you have to do yourself. So you can't say that, okay, I bought infrastructure as a service from Amazon or Azure. They should give me they should install database for me on this virtual machine. No, that's not how it works. This is why it is called infrastructure as a service. You're just renting, you're just making use of their infrastructure to build your IT environment, right? So that is very important to understand. So let me go back to the whiteboard before we continue with the slides. I think that will make more sense. Uh, so let me share the screen from the other one, other system. So just let me know if you are able to see the screen. Whiteboard again. Are you able to see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. We are back to the whiteboard. Here I'll try to explain you different cloud service models. I think we're sharing the right one. 1 second. This is the right screen. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope this is clear to you. The screen is visible, whiteboard is visible. I'm drawing something. Let me know if you are able to see.
Yes.
And you can guess it is a cloud. Okay. So I have let's talk about just one of the service cloud deployment model. Let's say this is my public cloud. I have the servers, storage. I have my own network. I'm running databases as well. So in essence, in reality, this is what the cloud service provider is doing. They have their own data center, physical facility, wherein they are running all of this and maintaining the whole infrastructure, all the components which are required to build a data center. Clear? Now, on this cloud, they are giving you three options. Either you go for software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service, right? Now, which one you choose, which one is more suitable and suitable for your business, you will go for that. For example, I'm just one particular user. I have few users in my office. user 1, and user 2. All they need is Office 365. So what do I do? I can approach Microsoft, right? Microsoft is a company which offers you the Office 365 services. And this is their cloud. And which cloud they're running? They're running Azure cloud. Their cloud is Azure. So on this cloud, they're providing all of the services. So this for this requirement, which service model I'll go for? These are
Software
service
as a
models.
service.
So for this requirement, I just need two licenses basically, and the application which I have to use. So I'll go for software as a service. That's most suitable for me because all I need to do is I don't want to worry about installing the software on my local machine or installing it on my local server and use it. I'll just go buy software as a service subscription for 2 users, and they'll be happy working on those applications. Right? So that's a very simple explanation of software as a service. Now, in this scenario, who is responsible of managing and maintaining and making sure that this Office 365 is highly available? Tell me the responsibility part. The question is you to everyone. The floor is
So,
open. I need to hear from you. Who will be responsible of making sure that Office 365 service is highly available? It is available when you need it because you're relying on that now. Office 365 services.
Cloud service provider.
Cloud service provider. It's very simple and clear. You have no control on their environment or their software in this scenario. They're just giving you the software over the internet as a service model, software as a service. So they are providing you software over the internet, and you have to make use of it. Yes, if there are any flaws in the application, if there are any bugs in the application, it is again cloud service provider's responsibility to take care of that. So they, in the background, they'll be doing the patching exercise. They'll be installing the latest patches. They'll be making sure that the servers are running fine, highly available. At the end, the cloud service provider has to make sure that the service is 24/7 available around the clock throughout the year, 365 days a year. Clear? Software as a service. Now, even this can be utilized by at personal level as well as on the commercial level. So even a company can buy software as a service. Right now, there are many hundreds of software companies which are going in this model, software as a service, wherein you don't want to buy the software, you don't want to install and maintain it locally on your data center. You just let the cloud service provider to worry about those things. You just consume and utilize the services. That's it. But in this case, the whole responsibility is with the cloud service provider, making sure that your data is secure and safe as well, and it is not exposed to uh, unknown users or anyone outside your organization or users' identity. Is that clear? Now, moving on to the platform as a service. So in this scenario, in the software as a service scenario, you have no knowledge what is running behind on the cloud, how many servers they are running, what storage they are using, how is the network built, how is the database maintained. You have nothing to worry about. They'll do all the everything for you. You just pay for the service and utilize it. Now, platform as a service. Let's say I'm a developer. Okay. Now, every developer knows that they need certain resources or the server or the storage, wherein they can build their application, test it, and deploy it to the production. So staging, there are multiple stages in the development of application. So now for this type of users, they provide something called platform as a service. What does it mean? That means they give you access on the OS level. If your application is supposed to be built for Windows environment, they'll give you the operating system environment for Windows. And if it is supposed to be built for Linux, they will give you access on the Linux environment. So this is purely for developers and it's meant for the developers only. Clear? Now the next one is, which is very famous and common, infrastructure as a service. So you know where who needs this? Now you need the full-fledged IT infrastructure. Okay, let's talk about the responsibility again. In the platform as a service, what is your responsibility as a user? You're the developer. You got access to a Windows server on the cloud, wherein you're building your own application, you're testing it, and you're deploying it to the production. So, what do you have to take care of it in this? And what responsibilities lies with the cloud service providers? So here, since you are having access to the operating system of the on the cloud platform, you are responsible for maintaining your cloud environment, dev environment. You have to make sure that your operating system is safe and secure. You'll have many options in doing that. You'll have control of the operating system, you can say here. In the software as a service, you don't have any control, neither on the application level, nor on the OS level, nor and not even on the hardware level. You don't have any control on any level. Here, as a developer, you have a control on operating system level because you are a developer. You are running, you are building an application, and for that application, whatever settings you need to change on the OS or environmental changes, what you have to do on the OS level, you can do it. But beyond that, again, it's out of your reach, right? So again, the network, underlying network infrastructure, underlying hardware infrastructure is out of your reach. You have no access and nothing to worry about on that in that scenario. Now, infrastructure as a service,
One question in PaaS.
yes,
In PaaS, you told like Windows and Linux.
yeah,
Today I need Windows, tomorrow I need Linux.
yes.
So it is also controlled with us. Like
You can change your environment, your OS requirement.
it means they are
Hmm.
not providing the platform is only the resources. So and
Now,
the
when you
storage.
are subscribing for platform as a service, you
Mm,
get the option to run Windows or Linux, or you can build both the environments as well,
yeah,
two
it
separate
means like
environments.
it is not up to the cloud provider who need to decide. They are just providing the platform.
Exactly,
Means like
exactly.
storage,
They are
like
giving the
a blank
platform.
box.
Yes, they
Hmm?
are giving the platform access only,
Okay, okay.
wherein you can
Means
build your
what
own.
we are installing, we are not installing. We are using only for the storing something, and we are installing Windows or Linux or Unix
Yes,
something like this. It is up to us, like what we need to. Only the platform they will provide.
they
Okay,
give you the platform. Yes,
okay.
we'll see when you're doing the lab. We'll have some example use cases as well. Infrastructure as a service. Now, in this, what do you have? You have a control. You have access to the infrastructure, wherein you have to build your own network, virtual network, of course, not the physical one. You have to build your own servers. That means the virtual machines. You have to configure your own storage and so on, and install the applications and maintain it. That's the infrastructure as a service. So they give you access to the cloud portal wherein you can do all of this and build your own infrastructure. Now, this is very common in hybrid cloud models mainly, wherein we have discussed, for example, I'll come to this scenario again. Let's say I have my on-prem data center, right? What do you mean on-prem? Again, it is your own data center hosted in your own premises, wherein I have the cabinets. I have cabinet one, cabinet two, running some servers and network equipments and so on. So I have the whole infrastructure built. Now I need to also uh, take cloud services, I need to expand my service portfolio and provide services to the internet users over the cloud. So either you can do that by yourself by going directly to the internet, or you can do a hybrid setup, hybrid cloud, and take infrastructure as a service, wherein you build your own network. This is your network, virtual network, obviously, VNet. Okay, it's called VNet in cloud terminology. And again, it differs, the naming convention, the terminology differs from cloud to cloud provider to cloud provider. So I build a virtual network. Those who are in the IT field, they know that network is the very fundamental component of any IT infrastructure. Without having the network, you can't build anything on in the data center. So same thing goes in here, infrastructure as a service. So before you build anything in your cloud environment, infrastructure as a service environment, you have to build your own virtual machine, virtual network. Then on top of that, you can build the VMs, you can build your own storage, and you can build your own application servers. You can have your, let's say, internet connectivity, and so on. You can have your own firewalls here. Now, since you're building all of this, you are responsible for making sure that these things are up and running. So this here comes the monitoring responsibility. So you are responsible for monitoring your own infrastructure in this service model, infrastructure as a service. So this gives the answer to Khaja, who had a question, right? Who is responsible for monitoring this services or servers or the components which we are running in the cloud? So that really comes down to the service model which you are buying from the cloud service provider. If you are buying this software as a service, even the monitoring part is not with you. It's again the responsibility of the cloud service provider. If you're buying a platform as a service, again the monitoring goes back to the cloud service provider, because you're just using the platform for building our applications. In infrastructure as a service comes the major difference. Here, you're responsible for monitoring and making sure that your components, what you're building in the infrastructure as a service model, are available, are monitored, and taken care of. I hope this is clear. So what you're doing here is you're expanding your data center, on-prem data center, to the cloud as well. And so hence, when you do that, then only the concept of hybrid cloud model comes in. Let's say you have another scenario wherein you have your data center. This is your data center, and this is the cloud. Now you know that cloud is accessible and available to everyone who has internet access. So you're having a user who is accessing the services from your domain controller, your server, and they also have access to one of the service which is available on the cloud. For example, Office 365. Now, would you call this environment as a hybrid cloud model? No, not really. You got my point. You need to understand this difference here. Okay, this is what I'm trying to explain here. When would you call a cloud model a hybrid cloud model? And that really comes down to how your users are accessing the services. So in this scenario, I have a particular cloud service which I am accessing over the internet, and I have the particular service which I am accessing locally on the data center, which is maintained by my organization. There is a call to prayer going on here. Just taking 2 minutes pause. We'll continue after that. Okay, guys, I'm back with you. Let's wrap up this session in next 10 minutes. That will take half an hour break. I'll, we'll be taking the prayer break. Tell me if you can hear me and we can continue.
Yes.
Yes, you can continue.
All right. So is is it clear what infrastructure as a service means? Any doubts here? So this doesn't qualify for infrastructure as a service, what I've explained. And if you're having only the cloud services, for example, I'm using a cloud infrastructure service. I mean this yes, this doesn't qualify for this. And if you're having only the infrastructure as a service without any connectivity to your on-prem data center, it doesn't qualify for hybrid cloud. It will be only called as hybrid cloud when you have your data center connected to the cloud environment, and in the cloud you're using infrastructure as a service model. Because here, if you see, you have a data center also, you have data center and you also have a cloud services, but you don't have the infrastructure as a service. You're using which service we are using here when I'm talking about Office 65? Can anyone tell me which service model it is? There are three which we have discussed.
Software as a service.
SaaS. This is software as a service. So this doesn't qualify for to be called as hybrid cloud. Is that clear? Any doubt here? I guess the no doubts. So if you have anything in your mind, we can ask again. I'm going to continue with these slides that might give you more visibility and understanding on what we are discussing. So I'm going to share the screen.
If you don't
Yes.
mind, can I just have one question?
Yes, yes, of
So
course. Yes.
this cloud, what we are learning, and whether it is a private or whether it is a public or hybrid, so
Hmm.
there is a platform behind that is a virtualization.
Hmm.
Okay, so before cloud, we used to learn before VMwares and all,
Exactly.
hypervisor and all.
Exactly.
So to build this cloud or hybrid
Hmm.
or private cloud, we should have the virtualization, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not learning virtualization here.
Yes,
But
yes, yes.
I'll give you the background. What exactly the cloud made of, right?
Yes.
And at the end, you need to understand what is behind the cloud, what is
Uh,
behind the scenes, right?
yes.
You're just watching the movie and you don't know what exactly is happening in the background, back behind the scene. So I'll
Yeah.
explain you some components which are used for building the cloud services. We'll discuss that as well.
Sure, sure.
1 second. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again from the other machine where we stopped. Okay, uh, I hope this is visible to everyone. So we started discussing infrastructure as a service. Here we know what it is. Then platform as a service, as I told you, provides an environment for building, testing, deploying software applications without focusing on managing underlying infrastructure, the whole IT infrastructure. Software as a service, users connect to and use cloud-based apps over the internet. For example, Office 365, email, and calendars. So here you can see something. If you see this marking, how the responsibility shifts and what you have to take care of when you move on from one service model to the other service model. So when you're in the service software as a service model, everything is taken care by the service provider. Everything underlying. So this requires everything, right? The application is definitely running on some server. It requires some network. It requires all the servers to be in some data center, and it is running the operating system and everything, and so on. So that's the software as a service model. Then you have development platform as a service. Again, You are only dealing with the platform. You are building, testing, and working on your applications. You are least bothered about maintaining the underlying infrastructure, network, servers, storage, whatever you name it. So here there's a shared responsibility model. Cloud is a shared responsibility model, right? You can see here what responsibility lies with whom. This is very important for your examination. So you can see responsibility always retained by the customer. Okay, in which environments responsibility lies with the customer. You can see these blue blocks. So when it is on-prem, the responsibility lies with the user. Responsibility varies by type. Responsibility transfer to the cloud provider. So the moment you move on from one model to the other model, the responsibility shifts and it is shared and it is divided. So if you're on-prem, I hope you can see the screen on-prem. You see everything from top to down is blue blocks. That means customer is responsible for their environment. Everything down from physical data center, physical network, physical host, operating system, network controls, application, identity and directory infrastructure, accounts and identities, devices, everything. Whatever you see here, whatever responsibilities you see, it it is up to the organization or the customer in this case that they have to take care of everything. Now, when you go to the next service model, infrastructure as a service, you're transferring some of the responsibility to the cloud service provider. You see these three blocks, which represents the physical data center, physical network, physical host. So you don't even know what physical servers they are running, how the network is built, and how they maintain the data center, right? So when you talk about data center, it has a lot of things to be taken care. For example, physical security of the data center. You have electricity, making sure that you have uninterrupted electricity supply, and making also sure that the environment in the data center is maintained. There's proper heating, cooling, and humidity controls, everything, and so on. So when you're moving from on-prem to this model, infrastructure service model, you're transferring the responsibility of these three blocks to the service provider. But again, rest remains with you. As I told you, you are responsible for the operating system which you're building, the virtual machine which you build, the network controls which you apply, because you're creating the virtual network on the cloud. You yourself are installing the applications. You have to take care of your identities and directory infrastructure, and so on. So this is really important to understand for the examination. So you should really have a clear-cut understanding who is responsible for what. Is this clear?
Yeah, in identity and directory, you mean to say like, login details or what?
Exactly. The AD accounts,
Okay.
if you're having the Active Directory accounts, or you might be
Uh,
having application accounts, some applications which are having their own identity management systems. So
okay.
those user accounts, we are talking about the user accounts here, identities and directories,
User account. Okay.
infrastructure for that, for identity management. So when you talk about Microsoft infrastructure, Active Directory is the identity repository for that. So you can see here, and when it moves to platform as a service, there are some things which are shared. There's a shared responsibility here. The application which you're running, network controls, you have a very minimal control on that. You can apply certain layer of controls on the server which you are using as a platform. And when it comes to software as a service, to some extent, identities are again the responsibility uh, is divided, because you as a user is also responsible for making sure that your user account and credentials are safe. It's not that you share your credentials and blame the cloud service provider that your user account is hacked or is compromised. So there's a shared responsibility here. And then you have accounts and identities. On top of that, within the application, you can create more accounts and identities, and you can control on which device you want to use your application and what information you want to store on your software as a service platform. I hope that is clear to everyone. Then we have the next one, and it's a summary of comparison of all the service models, infrastructure as a service. The most flexible cloud service, you configure and manage the hardware for your application. But this is mostly used by enterprise customers who want to go for hybrid cloud model, or some small businesses you can say who don't want to. Even some big businesses, they go purely as a infrastructure service in the cloud. They don't want to maintain anything locally on their infrastructure, so they just own this. They take the service, pay as you go service. Whatever number of virtual machines they build, they'll be built for that, and so on. Then platform as a service focus on application development, as you know. Software as a service, pay as you go pricing model for end users. So you use the applications, and that's the service model we are referring to. I hope this is all clear to you so far, whatever we have discussed.
Yeah.
So today we have discussed mainly. So until now, what we have discussed is the first thing is deployment cloud deployment models, which is private, public, hybrid, and sovereign cloud, and the multi-cloud. And then under the cloud deployment models, you have service models. So these service models are depending on whatever type of cloud models you are having. Because you can provide all of these service models in any of the cloud models which you build. If you are building a private cloud model for your own organization, you can still provide these three different kind of services to your users, but only to your organization users. That's where it is called as private cloud model. Clear? Any doubts here so far? If you're good, we will take a break. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Masood
Sajan.
bhai, what is this in the cloud service we call as basic enterprise? What is the difference?
Basic and enterprise.
Yeah,
I think this goes by the cloud service providers. There's no standard terminology in the cloud computing as basic and enterprise. You said,
internal. Okay.
yeah. It's mostly if you see when you're going for Office 365 services, and that you have different models. You have home home edition. You have premium
How
licenses.
school, yeah, premium
You
lesson
have
work.
advanced licenses. So
Okay.
it's the capability of and the features what you get on the subscription models.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
based on that. And
Okay.
if it is a homegrown cloud environment, they can name their services whatever they want. At the
Oh,
end, we have to see whether it is where it fits in this service model, whether it is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. So based on that, you can define what exactly the service is.
okay. I got it. I got it.
Clear?
Yes. Yes. Thank
All
you.
right then. So we are going to take a break for half an hour, uh, and then we'll continue from there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time. This theory is going to last. Maybe today we'll finish the theory part for fundamentals. Then from next week onwards, we'll start the administration part, wherein you have labs involved. Today and tomorrow, you most probably we will not have any labs. So I just want to make sure that in this today and tomorrow's session, last session, you have the clear understanding of what we have discussed so far, and that you can attempt for fundamental exam. So if you want, we can go through some mock questions as well to make sure that you understand what you're learning. Okay?
This week we'll be finishing the fundamentals. Is that what you
Well,
mean? Or
most probably,
today?
yes. By tomorrow, we can finish it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right then. I'm disconnecting the call so that we don't record the empty session. We'll continue after half an hour. I'll ping you on WhatsApp when I'm
Okay.
connecting back, and you can join in. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.